A lonely goat refused to eat for weeks, but what this wild bobcat did next will melt your heart. Rain hammered the old tin roof as dusk fell over the mountain farm. In the distance, thunder rolled like a warning. At the edge of the pasture, a small goat stood alone, trembling under a crooked oak tree. His name was Jasper, and for weeks he hadn't played, eaten much, or even made a sound. The farmer had brought Goat to the mountain after a coyote attack had wiped out the rest of his herd. He hoped the fresh air and quiet hills would heal the young goat's heart. But the loneliness clung to Goat like the cold rain now soaking his fur. Then something moved in the trees. Watching everything, a shadow, low to the ground. Eyes that glowed like embers in the stormlight. A bobcat. Before we go any further, please like and subscribe our channel for more amazing tales. The bobcat crept closer, muscles rippling under a slick coat. Every instinct said Goat should run. But he didn't. Maybe he was too tired, too broken. The bobcat stopped a few feet away, tail twitching. Then, instead of pouncing, it sat down. Just sat there, staring through the rain. Night fell. The storm passed. The goat stayed curled under the oak. The bobcat stayed too, quiet as stone. Hours turned into days, and every evening the predator returned, always stopping short of Goat's fear. At first, Goat couldn't eat. Couldn't trust. But hunger wins where fear lingers. One morning, as frost silvered the pasture, Goat lowered his head to nibble hay. The bobcat watched, and for the first time, Goat felt something other than fear. He felt seen. The farmer noticed tracks in the mud. He grabbed his rifle, thinking of the coyotes, thinking of loss. But when he saw the bobcat lying a few yards from Goat, tail curled around its paws, he didn't pull the trigger. Something in the stillness stopped him. Winter deepened. Snow came like a white ocean. The goat and the bobcat moved closer. They shared silence first, then space, and in time, trust. Goat would rest in the sun while the bobcat lay guard, ears twitching at every sound in the trees. When a fox came near the barn one night, the farmer found fresh claw marks on the fence and the fox gone without a trace. One morning, Goat trotted out into the pasture, head high, eyes bright. He butted a log, then another, kicking and leaping like the goat he once was. And there, bounding beside him through the snow, was the bobcat, wild grace and soft paws, dancing like a shadow reborn into light. The lonely goat had a friend. A protector. Not his kind, but his heart. Months later, when spring painted the hills green, Goat no longer stood alone under the oak. The bobcat still roamed free, but every dusk, it returned, slipping through the trees like a promise kept. Sometimes the ones we fear the most become the ones who save us. And that is the story of a goat who learned to trust again, and the wild soul who taught him how.